Alright, so this is my cell phone and you're being recorded right now.
I'm being recorded. Okay, well, I can start off telling you that basically the Masons were stonemasons who built the cathedrals all over Europe.
Right.
And in order to, let's say you came to work and you're an apprentice.
Okay.
Okay, so we teach you that part of your trade to kind of move stones around
right.
and dress and all that. And then suppose you wanted to move to another town. Well, it's not like in those days, not too many people could read and write. And so how would you prove that you had this training? Well, they would teach you certain grips and handshakes and signs. And so in order to get a job someplace else, you would have to go in the master there would you'd have to show him those things.
Right.
And that's so it's an organization of secrets as opposed to
yeah, it's handy for pre-literate times when people couldn't read and there was no way to prove that you had just specific knowledge.
Right. Can you show me one of the Mason symbols?
I'm not one.
Do you know any of the handshakes or signs?
Yeah, but I'm not supposed to show them.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's awesome. That's so badass.
No,
have you ever showed him?
No, I never showed him. No.
Wow.
All right, but no. So those are the kinds of secrets they have, as opposed to a secret organization like the Ku Klux Klan, where everybody wears a
right.
hood.
And nobody knows who their face is.
Okay.
So this is more out in the open. It's kind of common knowledge that most of the people who are Freemasons are actually Masons, but it's not like a. Basically, is it something that as a Mason you
like
try to
halls
hide?
and buildings. I mean,
right.
They go and that's where they meet.
Right.
Yeah,
like the Shriners, they are.
Yeah, the Shriners.
They're
little
Freemasons.
the triangles.
They're Freemasons.
Interact.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're the highest level of Freemason is the Shriners.
So what is the dark side of being a Shriner or Freemason? What's something that you've encountered that you're like, wow, I had no idea that this would be a part of some of the life that I was living.
I haven't run into anything.
How about what have you heard? Have you heard any stories of a certain Shriner being like, I have so much power that I'm just gonna go have slaves in my house or something, like sex slaves or something like that?
I haven't heard that.
So the whole big like hoopla about the Freemasons, like why is it put in such a negative light, you know?
Well, right.
Because you said obviously it's very racial. I mean, it's
like, as I said, there are these Black Masons. What happened was...
And what's the name of the Black Masons? That's
Prince Hall.
Prince Hall.
My roommate in Florida, he was a Mason.
The Jamaican dude?
Yeah. He was like a 32nd degree. He was real high up.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how does that affect you?
I thought it was like,
how does that affect you financially?
I was going to join his hall.
Right.
But he's like, I would have been the only white guy, but I didn't care.
So the whole New World Order thing involved in Freemason activity.
Paranoid.
It's just paranoid.
Yeah.
First of all, George Washington was a Mason. Just maybe with all of the founding fathers were Masons.
Yeah.
And
George Bush II was the Mason as well. Huh?
Well, he was a few bad apples. But
he was just a dumbass Mason. He's just basically. Do they put you in there based off of intelligence, or is it mostly basically lineage and heritage and family?
Well,
ties?
I'm only guessing now. But were you to approach a Black Mason and say, because they'll never come to you and ask you to be a Mason.
Right.
Never. You have to ask.
Right.
And then they will just explore your life. I mean, and particularly because, they work in the street. They want to prove themselves. And I mean,
they want to make sure you're upstanding.
Right.
And you're not,
good character.
Right.
And like, for instance, I was reading about one guy who got in trouble because he got drunk and was riding a bull down the street. He's sitting on this bull riding down the street. But there were places in the South during the Revolutionary War and afterwards, where all the men in the town were Masons. And they moved all the women and children out of the town and then home lodge right in the middle of the town.
Is the focus of being a Mason financial prosperity, is that basically why all these people come together? Is it for economic benefit?
No.
Or is it more just something that some type of fellowship?
It's like a fraternity in college.
Right. It's a big
Help
network.
each other out, networking, and it's community service.
Right.
Suppose that
And they're just like the wealthiest fraternity. Well, most powerful.
They're old. Yeah.
well, suppose you were in my lodge, and let's say that I'm a wealthy businessman, and I get to know you. I'm going to look out for you.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
That's
Or
what
if you have some kind of need that he can fill, like you run a janitorial supply company and he runs a toilet paper manufacturing company, you buy his toilet paper.
Right. Keep it in the family.
Back about 1946, we went up to Atlantic City, and he spent too much money. And so he was going to pop his watch. So he goes in this pawn shop, I was looking, and the guy's going to take his watch, and he reaches in his pocket to get some change, and he had this, my father had this, it's called penny, a certain kind of penny. And the guy said, oh, I'll take that, keep your watch. It's that kind of thing where he would trust him automatically since he had that penny.
Right.
Even if they didn't personally know.
Right.
They knew you.
So they could draw
already been vetted by other Masons.
Wow.
So
some of those not aside from the handshakes and the symbols, but what are some of the items that they would use to show their alliance to Freemasons, like the ring, the penny?
Yeah.
Well, not every Mason would have a penny.
Penny is just like that, real, like you're real deep into it.
He was saying his friend was a 32 degree Mason.
That's the shrine.
Fine, yeah.
30.
This is the highest you can get?
No.
Jamaican dude?
No.
No, he was 32nd.
No.
And he was Jamaican dude?
Highest is not.
Yeah.
The highest is a 33rd degree Mason. For instance, Harry Truman was, honorary degree, you can't buy that degree.
Yeah.
Harry Truman was the 33rd President of the United States, and he was the 33rd degree Mason.
Wow.
But,
so what type of life do you have to live and dues do you have to pay to become the highest Mason possible? Because this Jamaican dude is young, right?
Yeah, it's weird that he's that high up.
It's like it's some weird ass stuff. Because especially since it's a racial fraternity, for him being black and being the highest and so young, you think that he would have to pay more dues?
well, no. He's
It's really upstanding.
I don't think it is anymore. I think back like in the 50s.
I don't think there are any black lodges.
I know Jay-Z. I heard Jay-Z. Have you heard of the rapper Jay-Z? Jay-Z, he's a rapper. Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, Hova, my man. He's a wealthy. He's worth like $80 million. But supposedly he's a Freemason, and they were trying to put this whole negative light on him because supposedly he's a Mason. But no, it's all really based off ignorance. Everybody's going to be a radical towards the other radical group. Like,
they're not a radical group.
Right.
It's
a fraternity.
It's a fraternity. It's a social club.
It's somebody, yeah.
It has a lot of historical roots.
Right.
Going back to the Masons and the Knights Templar.
Thomas Jefferson was one, right?
Yeah. All those guys. Franklin, Jefferson, Washington, Adams.
So how would you get indoctrinated? Like, do you have to go to ceremonies? Do you have to?
You just find out someone's a Mason, and then you have to ask them if you want to join.
Have you ever asked your dad to make you a Mason?
Well, because he doesn't go anymore.
Oh.
He hasn't gone since the 50s.
What were the biggest benefits you saw as a Mason?
He stopped going because he didn't agree with the racist a lot.
There you go, my man. Screw those racist bastards.
There was
That
the King of France,
Right.
the King of France, and the Pope who was a Frenchman, and the King of France fought the 13th, anyway.